Hey everyone, and welcome back to DataSurface. Every time you open Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, billions of posts, likes, and comments are instantly available. But here is the question: how is all that messy, ever changing data stored? The answer is NoSQL databases. The technology built for speed, flexibility, and a massive scale of modern app. In this video, I will show you what is NoSQL database and why it matters and how it shaping the future of tech. So let's quickly see what we'll cover as part of this session. First, we'll break down the big question, what is NoSQL database? We'll get into the core philosophy behind it. Next, we'll explore why we even need it by looking the limitations of traditional databases. Then we will dive into the four main types of NoSQL databases, exploring the entire landscape. We'll do quick deep dive into the each one of understand their unique strength and use cases. And finally, we'll look at the top players in the market today. By the end, you will have a solid foundation to understand this critical piece of modern technology. Let's get started. Alright, let's dive right in. The term NoSQL simply means not only SQL, it is not about replacing traditional SQL databases but offering a powerful alternative. Think of traditional SQL databases as a perfectly organized spreadsheet. Everything has a predefined column and a row. It's rigid structured and very reliable. But what if your data doesn't fit neatly into the box? That's where NoSQL shines. Its a core strengths are first, the non-relational models. So it stores data in flexible formats that often look more like how developers actually work with the data in their code. Second, dynamic schemas. This is a game changer. You can change your data structure on the fly without causing a massive system-wide update. It's built for agility. Let's take an example. Any SQL databases like Oracle and all, in a particular table, if you want to modify the particular column, like you need to basically alter that particular table. So it is going to impact that entire object. But whereas in NoSQL, there is no kind of a entire object level update. So it's on the fly, dynamically, you can modify that particular object structure. The third is distributed by design. Instead of relying on one single massive server, NoSQL spreads the data across multiple machines. This means no single point of failure and a much higher availability. And finally, horizontal scaling. When traffic grows, you don't need to buy a bigger or more expensive server. You just add more standard, cheaper ones. It's built for internet scale. So these are the key principles of NoSQL databases. So there is no relational models in this particular database. Basically, you are not going to store the data by establishing the relationships, and dynamically you can change the schemas, and the data will be spread in a distributed way and horizontal scaling. This all sounds great, right? But why was this shift is necessary? It comes down to the rise of big data. So basically, why we need NoSQL databases? As I mentioned, so it comes down to the rise of big data. The internet changed everything. Suddenly, we had a massive volume of unstructured data from social media, mobile apps, and IoT devices. The rigid structured world of relational databases started to show its cracks. They hit a bottleneck. When the old way, adding a new features could mean a painful, complex change to the entire databases. Scaling up was incredibly expensive. Trying to store complex nested information like a blog post with all the comments and tags was just an awkward. So it is a kind of a very difficult to store this kind of a unstructured information into the SQL databases. So now coming to the NoSQL was the solution for all these problems. It's offered a dynamic, elastic, and a more natural way to handle the massive, fast-moving, and complex data of modern world. So now it's important to know that NoSQL isn't just one thing. It's a family of different database types, each with its own strengths. Let's quickly meet the four main players. The first, we have a document database which store data in flexible JSON-like documents, super popular and developer friendly. Next are the key value stores, the simplest of them all. They work like a giant dictionary, mapping a unique key to the value. They are incredibly fast. The next one is then we have a column family databases, which are optimized for reading and writing massive amount of data by column, making them powerhouse for analytics. Then finally, graph databases, which are all about the storing and navigating complex relationships, things like social networks on recommendation engines. So basically, these NoSQL databases, based on their characteristics and architecture, there are different types of NoSQL databases available. I have considered only top 4 NoSQL databases here. One is a document databases, like next one is a key value databases, column NoSQL databases, and graph NoSQL databases. So let's do quick deep dive. Document databases like a MongoDB are perfect for things like user profiles, where each user might have slightly different information. So it's a flexible and feels natural. So you can see the screen how it looks like the JSON document information. The key value stores like a Redis are the champion of speed. So they are perfect for catching data or storing user sessions, where you need to read and write information in Flash. Column family databases like Cassandra are built for the big data analytics when you need to query a specific metric across billions of records. These are you go to. And the final one is graph databases like Neo4j are masters of connections. They instantly answer questions like who are the friends of my friends, or what are the products do customer like me buy. This is kind of a basically networking. So for the big names you should know in the NoSQL space. So like we have seen few examples for each one. Now if you see in the deck, if you see in the screen, these are the topmost NoSQL players in the present market. So you have almost certainly heard of MongoDB, the leader in the document database world. Then there is a Redis and undistributed king of key value stores. For a column family, Apache Cassandra is a major player, originally developed by Facebook, and in the graph world, Neo4j leads the pack. Of course, cloud providers like Amazon with the DynamoDB are also huge in the space. These are the tools that power the biggest application on the planet. And there you have it. From flexible data models to massive scalability, NoSQL databases are a foundational part of the modern tech stack. They aren't here to replace SQL, but to work alongside it, giving us the right tool for the right job. You just take an initial step to understand how today's data-driven world works, and your journey doesn't stop here. In our next video, we'll do head-to-head comparison and break down the key differences between SQL and NoSQL databases. If you gained value from this breakdown, would appreciate if you like this video and subscribe to DataSurface. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on our future insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.